Good morning, everyone. So next topic is the cyanides and isocyanates. Cyanides and isocyanates. So already we have studied the cyanides and isocyanates in previous classes. Previous means in second year, intermediate second year. Okay. So what is the general formula of cyanides? Cyanides are generally represented as C triple bond N, and whereas isocyanates are represented as N triple bond, but one bond is coordinate covalent bond. So this is coordinate covalent bond. So in which electrons are non-bonding electrons of nitrogen. So two electrons are donated by nitrogen atom to carbon atom. So carbon atom. So that means here hybridation is sp hybridation. So if you write the electronic configuration of carbon, so that is 1s2, 2s2, 2p2. Okay, so this is 1s2, and this is 2s2, and this is 2p2. Okay, now these unpaired electrons and let write the electronic configuration of nitrogen. So that is 1s2 and 2s2. This is what? 2p3. Okay, here what happened? The nitrogen atom undergoes sp3 hybridation and sp2 hybridation. Here what happens? What happens? See, this is sp2 hybridization. So one sp2 hybridized orbital overlap with this one. Here we have one alkyl part, or that means it is one alkyl part. Next, it formed two. This is sigma bond with carbon and one pi bond with carbon. So these two are unhybridized orbitals. And now this lone pair of electrons are donated to this vacant orbital. So thereby here we can expect one coordinate covalent bond, or in short you can say as a dative bond. Okay, so this is about the hybridization and structure of cyanide and isocyanate. Whereas in cyanides, carbon as well as nitrogen both undergo sp hybridization. So that means here this is one sigma bond and this is one sigma bond, and these two are two pi bonds. So that means here on nitrogen atom we have one lone pair of electrons. So this is, so that means here in isocyanide carbon undergoes hybridization, or you can say bonding in ground state. So you can say this one as ground state electronic configuration. But whereas in cyanides, this carbon same electronic configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p2. So this is GS. GS means ground state electronic configuration. One s electron is excited into p electron, and thereby we can have this one 2s1 and 2p3. So this is known as first excited state electronic configuration. So in excited state electronic configuration, carbon can form 4 bonds, and here it undergo sp2 hybridization. So that's why in sp2 hybridization we can expect 3 sigma bonds and 1 pi bonds. So this is 1 pi bond. Sorry, 2 pi bonds, not 1 pi bond, 2 pi bonds. sp hybridization. Sorry, carbon undergo sp hybridization. So this is 2 bonds. Okay, so 2 sigma bonds. Two sigma bonds and 2 pi bonds. 2 sigma bonds and 2 pi bonds. So hybridization is same in cyanides as well as in isocyanates. Carbon undergoes which hybridization? sp hybridization. So this carbon undergoes sp hybridization in both cases. But exception is in isocyanate carbon undergoes or participate in ground state electronic configuration, whereas in cyanides it participates in excited state electronic configuration. So that is participated in bond formation. Okay. Okay. So now move on to this topic. Okay. So this is about cyanides and isocyanates. So how it look like. Cyanates and isocyanates are derivatives of HCl, hydrogen hydrocyanic acid. So generally it is existing in two isomeric forms. So this is cyanide and this is isocyanate. So actually it is nitrogen, not carbon. It is nitrogen. Sorry, this is isocyanate means this is nitrogen and this is carbon. But he printed. Sorry, it is not carbon. It is nitrogen. That is printing mistake. Please correct it. Okay. So this is nitrogen. So hydrogen cyanide and hydrogen isocyanide ion. Okay, the cyanides are the derivatives of HCl. So in organic chemistry, that hydrogen is replaced with alkyl part. So in generally we can represent RCN or RNC. Okay. So here see in that alkyl part, the H is replaced with what? Alkyl part. This is cyanides, alkyl cyanides, and this is alkyl isocyanates. Let's see the nomenclature. If you recall the nomenclature, what you have studied in previous year or in intermediate first year, the cyanides are generally IUPAC name of CN functional group is nitrile, and whereas IUPAC name of NCR isocyanate IUPAC name is carbylamine. So here see, while giving the nomenclature or while naming the any organic compound, so first we need to write the root word. So root word followed by primary suffix. So that is here this is methane, and the methane the last letter of E should be replaced with YL. So that means methyl, and suffix is cyanide. So the name of this compound is methyl cyanide. Okay, I will show you one example. So for example, so this is our cyanide. Okay, so in that nomenclature of cyanides, generally we use two types of words, root word and suffix. So here we have two types of suffix. One is primary suffix. Generally, the primary suffix may be in, and ein. We knew that. So that means primary suffix indicates about nature of alkyl carbon chain. And next, this is secondary suffix. So here what happens? The secondary suffix is what? For cyanide, that is nitrile, and for isocyanates, that is carbylamine. Carbylamine. Okay. So while naming the organic cyanides, first what we need to do? First we need to write the root word. So the root word indicates about number of carbon atoms present in selected or longest carbon chain. Here we have two carbon atoms, so that's why its name becomes eth. And here primary suffix, that is what that indicates about the nature of bond of carbon long chain, or you can say skeleton are selected. So here we supposed to not consider this carbon. Why? Because this carbon is a part of function group. So this is part of function group. So we are excluding this. So just we consider these two as a carbon chain. Okay. So that means between these two carbon atoms we have single bond. So for that we need to write N. And last letter of N, that is what? E should be replaced with I and followed by writing the name of function group, that is what? Nitrile. So now the name of this compound is ethyl nitrile. Okay, do another example. So this is what? Prop, and primary suffix is N, and E should be replaced with YL. After that only we can add secondary suffix, that is nitrile, and the name of this compound is propyl nitrile. Okay, so by this manner we can give the names of cyanides. Okay, let's see the next, move on to next topic. Okay, so this is okay, so it is not in your syllabus. Okay, no problem. So here these are some examples, the common name and IUPAC name. So this is the structure. So we can term this one as a methyl cyanide or else acetonitrile. So generally we use acetonitrile, and the IUPAC name is ethane nitrile. Okay, ethane nitrile. Okay, so oh sorry. So previous slide, where it is. Okay, see here. So why? So this is not IUPAC nomenclature. Sorry, in general nomenclature, we use this one propyl or ethyl, This YL letters generally we use in common nomenclature, but in IUPAC nomenclature, what we do, we as it is, we write root word, that is, so for this one, eth, and primary suffix is an, and then we immediately we write the secondary suffix. So the name of this compound is ethane nitrate. So here see, so here in no letter of primary suffix should be replaced. Okay, in IUPAC nomenclature, and the name of this one is it is common name. So this is common name. Okay, common nomenclature, and in IUPAC nomenclature, what we do first we write the root word and then followed by primary suffix and followed by secondary suffix. Okay, so propane nitrate. Okay, sorry, please rectify it. And these are next some other compounds. Okay, while naming the isocyanates, so what we do, so generally so this is common name, the CH3NC, the common name of this compound is methyl isocyanate, and IUPAC name is carbalamines. So generally how we do like this. Okay, so methyl carbalamine common name. So we generally we don't have any IUPAC nomenclature for this isocyanates or isocyanates. So generally we follow common nomenclature. Okay, so the last letter of primary suffix is replaced with IL and then followed by the what isocyanates or carbalamines. Or else in some IIT standard books they mentioned as methane carbalamines. For example, if we see CH3ENC. So again same follow this one root word, that is meth, and primary suffix is n, and secondary suffix is what, carbalamine. Carbalamine, methane carbalamine. So same as like nitrates. Nomenclature is same. Okay, next to move on to the preparations in our syllabus. We have only 3 preparation methods. First one is preparation of cyanates from amides, and then second one is from RMGX, and then alkyl halides. We have only 3 types of preparative methods. Okay, so from amides, let's say the amide. So what is the general formula of amide? RC double bond O NH2. So on dehydrogenation, generally we say here what we do, we remove the water molecule. So the removal of water molecule is known as dehydrogenation. So dehydrogenation, dehydration, not hydrogenation, dehydration. So dehydration. So dehydration can be achieved by using dehydrating agents like P2O5 or V2O5 or anhydrous ZnCl2. So we can use n number of agents. So frequently we use this one, P2O5 phosphorus pentoxide or vanadium pentoxide, or generally anhydrous zinc chloride. Okay, so dehydration of amides, we can prepare what, cyanates. Next one is RMGX. Before going to RMGX, second one is from alkyl halide. When alkyl halide is treated with potassium cyanide, already we have studied in our intermediate, we may get this one. Instead of potassium cyanide, if you use silver cyanide, so then we may get isocyanate. So why? Because why we are getting different products? Why? Because this is what ionic product, and whereas this is covalent product. So covalent compound, first one is ionic compound and second one is covalent compound. So due to the difference in nature of our reagent, we get different products. And the next one is okay. Next one. So this is here say SOCl2 sulfonyl chloride also we can use, and these are some examples. These are also some examples. And next from alkyl halides, this is sodium cyanide or potassium cyanide can be used. And we execute this reaction in presence of ethyl alcohol. And next, these are some more examples. And then oxams. Sorry. Okay, next one is oxams, from oxams. So oxams also one type of extension to the amides. So what is the formula of oxime? So this is oxime R. So here I'm writing. Sorry, here I'm R C double bond NOH. So this is known as oxime. This is known as oxime. So when we remove the water molecule from here, so water molecule how? Just by removing this, we can get RC triple bond N cyanide. So it is also one type of dehydration reaction, but here we executed this reaction by taking amides, and here we are executing the same reaction with same reagent, but our substrate is different. So from oximes also we can prepare cyanides. And next one, okay, so I think we have only three, not RMGs. Okay, so we have only three preparations. First one is from amides, second one is not RMGX, this is oximes, and third one is alkyl halides. Okay, so this is the preparation of what? Cyanides. And next to move on to next topic, what is the here physical properties. Okay, what are the physical properties? So generally, the physical state and color order, let's see these three physical properties. Under this physical properties, we are carrying out a physical examination. So in that physical examination, generally we observe physical state, color, and order. So lower member of cyanides are liquids, while the higher members are solids. So this is about the physical state. Lower member means the cyanides which has less number of carbon atoms in its longest carbon chain. Those are considered as less number of carbons. Generally, such compounds exist in liquid state, and the higher means having high number of carbon atoms. Those are exist as solids. And alkyl cyanides have faintly decent order. Faintly means okay, somewhat, but whereas isocyanides are intolerable. So because of this intolerable odor or smell, we use a one experiment, that is carbalamine test for the identification of amines. In previous class, we have discussed about. So carbalamine test exclusively meant to identification of primary amines. Okay, so this is about the physical states, and here the comparison. So cyanides are faintly pleasant, that means okay, somewhat pleasant, but whereas isocyanides are exhibit intolerable odor. Next, boiling points. Alkyl cyanides have higher boiling points than the corresponding isocyanides. Why? Because here cyanides may have somewhat more we say dipole intermolecular attractions. So due to that one, it may have somewhat more boiling points than corresponding isocyanides. And dipole moment here due to having dipole moment. So dipole moment means that dipole moment or dipole nature also we can sometimes we get for dipole nature. Next, solubility. Lower cyanides are soluble in water due to tendency to form hydrogen bonding. So look at this here. So how these lower alkyl cyanides are soluble or dissolved in water due to formation of inter-hydrogen bonding between cyanide molecule as well as water molecule. So thereby cyanides are soluble in water. Next, let's see hydrolysis, some chemical properties. So in that chemical properties, we discuss a few chemical properties, particularly hydrolysis. Second one is reduction, I think. Okay, let's see what it will be. Okay, so reductions, and third one is reduction, heating, isomerization. Fourth one is Grignard reagent. Fifth one is isolation. Okay, so first one is hydrolysis. Second one is reductions. And third one is isomerization. And fourth one is with RMGX. And last one is oxidation reactions. Okay, so these are few reactions what we studied in this lesson. So cyanides. So in earlier or in previously or from primary classes, we know that hydrolysis of cyanides gives carboxylic acids. So wherever we have this one cyanide group, so on the hydrolysis of that cyanide, what we get? We get a carboxylic function group. Okay. So here we have some examples. Okay. Bluntly, you can remember that hydrolysis of cyanides always yields or gives carboxylic acid. So this is hydrolysis of acid, hydrolysis of cyanide. So initially what we get? Initially we get amide, and further hydrolysis of amide we get carboxylic acid. So that means here this reaction undergo in two steps. First one is what? Cyanides, addition of water molecule that will be converted into amide, and then further addition of water molecule, it will be converted into carboxylic acid. So these are the examples under basic conditions. So these are in presence of acid. In presence of base, what happens? We may get a salt. Why? Because why? Okay, let's see. I will show you. So here in first step, so this is cyanide and on hydrolysis of cyanide. So first, what happens? This water will be attached on carbon. Then that bond is shifted to nitrogen. So thereby a new bond is formed between water molecule and what? Carbon. At the same time, water retains the positive charge and it will retain negative charge. And next step, what happened? So one of the H plus will be eliminated. So thereby we may get ROH and here. So that will be attached to hydrogen. And next step, what happened? Shifting of proton takes places. So this is, you can say, tautomerization also. No problem. So thereby we can get C double bond O and here NH2. This is amide. So that is first step. In second step, what happens again? One more water molecule will be attached to this one here, and then double bond shifted on oxygen. So thereby, so O minus, and this is NH2. And here what happens? OH, oxygen ion formation takes place. So then again, the H plus is shifted here. So that H plus will be transported or transferred to the oxygen molecule. So thereby this oxygen will get, so this is OH. And here this is NH2 and this is OH. And next up what happens? This will be shifted here and then it will be eliminated as ammonia. So then what happened? R C double bond O and here this is OH and we may get a byproduct that is what? Amide, ammonia. So all this reaction is executed in presence of acid. So up to formation of amide, this is same. So if we carried out the same reaction in presence of base, what happens after formation of this product? After formation of this product, what is that? This is acid. What is the nature of this one? This is acid. And the base, what is the nature of base? Base will accept H plus. And what is the nature of acid? That will donate H plus. So thereby we may get like this. So here in basic hydrolysis, we end up the reaction with the formation of salt. Whereas in the acidic hydrolysis of cyanides, we end up the reaction with formation of carboxylic acid. So that is the difference. Okay, so next to move on to next topic, and this is what? Hydrolysis. And next, let's see the hydrolysis of amides, isocyanates. So up to now we have discussed about hydrolysis of cyanates. And next, what happens in hydrolysis of isocyanates? So here, see, same what happens. Let's see. So this is isocyanate. Okay, sorry. RN triple bond C. So it is. This is isocyanate. Here, what happened? The water will be attached here. So thereby nitrogen will get OH, and this is plus, and carbon will get minus charge. Next step, what happens? Okay, sorry. Okay. Okay. Bluntly, we can remember one thing. They always bond is shifted to shifted towards higher electronegativity. Here we have carbon and nitrogen, and at the same time, this carbon has vacant orbital, so that's why the water molecule first attack on carbon, and then this bond shifted on nitrogen. So directly I'm writing. So thereby what happens? So nitrogen will get negative charge, and this is double bond, and this is OH and OH. So it is positive charge. Next step, what happens? It will have shifted like this, and then that H plus will be attached to the nitrogen, and then double bond. So here what? O minus, and here this is what? H. Okay. In further hydrolysis, what happens? Another water molecule in further hydrolysis is simply what happens? It will like this. It will go like this. So this part will become NH2, and this part will become formic acid. Okay. So hydrolysis of isocyanide, we get amines, and hydrolysis of cyanides, we get what? Carboxylic acid. So that is the difference between these two. Okay. So this is formic acid. And next, this is the mechanism, how it happens. Just now I told you. So here what happens, tautomerization takes places. So I will show you. So what is tautomerization? So here, see, from this one, I am writing that part here. So R, NH, so C double bond, O minus, and here H. So this negative charge shifts here, then this bond shifted here. So then what happens? So thereby R, NH, so minus and double bond OH. So this is, or else we can assume that. So this is one type of not tautomerization. This is resonance. So actually tautomerization is like this. Okay, I will show you. Okay, here I will show. So R, this is N minus double bond. Perfect. So this is isocyanide R. This is water molecule. So what happens? R N. This is so here what happens? Water will be attached here. So thereby it will get. At the same time, this carbon has two lone pair of electrons, and this nitrogen also have two lone pair of electrons. But what happens? Which is less electronegative? Carbon is less electronegative, so that's why it easily or readily donates its lone pair of electron to the hydrogen. So thereby we can get this one. Now it will participate in tautomerization. So tautomerization means, what is tautomerization? Tautomerization means the shifting of a hydrogen atom within the molecule from one atom to another atom. So this is tautomerization. So next step, what happens? This will go here, and then this will again, then hydrogen will be shifted from nitrogen atom to oxygen atom, and from, in first case, from oxygen atom to nitrogen atom. So this is known as tautomerization. Okay. After tautomerization, what happens? It will undergo again further hydrolysis. We can get what? Amine and then formic acid. Next one, reduction. Again, reduction. So cyanides and isocyanides respond differently. So let's see the first, reduction of cyanides. So reduction means addition of hydrogen. We can achieve the reduction by using catalytic reduction or some reducing agents like lithium aluminum hydride or sodium borohydride. So we have different options. So, but reduction of cyanides, what we get? We get primary amines. Whereas reduction of isocyanides, we get N-methyl amines, N-methyl amines. So that means that is secondary amine, R, N, H, and here this is CH3. So this is known as N-methyl amines. N-methyl amines. So, or you can say this is secondary amine and this one is primary amine. So amines on reduction, we get primary amines, whereas cyanates on reduction we get secondary amines. And next one is, so here some examples we have. This is primary amine, and here also primary amine, here also primary amine, here that is a reagent, here this is catalyst. And this reduction of isocyanates, again we can run the same reaction, reduction in terms of catalyst or reagent, whatever it may be, but what we get N-methyl amines. Next, partial reduction. What is complete reduction and what is partial reduction? So let's see, what is partial reduction? So here partial. So in above case, the reduction is complete reduction. Why? Because the triple bond is converted into single bond. But in partial reduction, what happened? Actually, what happened? This triple bond converted into double bond, and then double bond converted into single bond. So this is complete reduction. This is partial reduction. In partial reduction, what we get? We get imines. So this is partial reduction. And in that partial reduction, what happens? So here, actually, it is not triple bond. This is double bond. So it is double bond, not triple bond, imine. And hydrolysis in here, from here, we can, if we hydrolyze this one, so if you hydrolyze this one, what happens? Two hydrogen will go here and oxygen comes here. So thereby we can get aldehydes. So followed by ammonia. So partial reduction followed by acidic hydrolysis. We get what? Aldehydes. So this is the thing. So partial reduction followed by the boiling of water or hydrolysis, we get aldehyde. And then, so it is executed in presence of acid. So here see acidic hydrolysis, this ammonia reacts with acid. For suppose here he has taken hydrogen chloride. So then what we get? We get ammonium chloride. Okay. So that depends. Why? Because this is ammonia is base, acid and base both will react to give what is salt. So that is the reaction. So this is partial reduction. The next, isomerization. Here we have one feature. What is that? On heating of, whenever you heat the isocyanate, it will be converted into cyanate, but it is not a reversible reaction. It is a unidirectional reaction. So that means on hydrolysis of cyanates, we can get, isocyanates, we can get cyanates, but cyanates cannot be transformed into the isocyanates, but only isocyanates can be transformed into the cyanates. So how we can do so? By heating of isocyanates. So this is known as isomerization. Last one is Grignard reagent. So with Grignard reagent, we may get what? Ketones. Okay, I will show you how it so happens. So this is cyanide R C triple bond N, and this is a Grignard reagent. So alkyl group always acts as a nucleophile. That nucleophile attacks on carbon, so that facilitates the shifting of double bond and N minus here MgX plus. So on hydrolysis, what happens? Same thing happens. These two oxygen comes here and two hydrogen goes there. So directly we can get ketone. So hydrolysis reaction with Grignard reagent, cyanates with Grignard reagent, what we get? We get ketones. And next, last one is addition reaction, or you can say oxidation reaction. So cyanates and isocyanates will give oxidation product. So cyanates will give cyanate, isocyanate. So isocyanates gives isocyanates, and whereas the cyanates can give cyanate. Okay. So with this, we have completed organic chemistry. Okay. So in next class, we will discuss about the physical chemistry. In that physical chemistry, we have thermodynamics. Okay. After that, we will discuss about the general chemistry. I hope you understood this. Thank you.